Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm Michaela Carpenter, I'm a food freedom coach, and today I'm going to be talking about how to embrace the power of right now and how to really just start healing your relationship with food right now instead of waiting. So a lot of the times I see, and you probably know in yourself, that your relationship with food can kind of be there as have a huge impact on your life, but also not be a huge priority in changing or healing. And we can kind of just tell ourselves that that's okay, I'll focus on that next week, or I'll do something about that in a little bit, or right now is not the right time. And we can really find ourselves waiting for that right time, and we find ourselves waiting for a long time. So in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about why right now is the perfect time to start healing your relationship with food and start working on that. So we're going to get straight into it. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. So the first point I have is that the power of now is very unique. So right now is the only time we truly have full control over. So the past, obviously it's done. The present is the now, obviously, but the future, we can't control that until we're in those moments. So right now is the only time that we actually have full control of what we do, what we don't do, the things that we work on, the things that we don't work on. So it's really important to recognize that that is really powerful. And continuing to wait for a perfect time can lead to just never really working through those things, or just taking a long time, when in reality, if we were to work on it now, imagine how much further along we would be in a year's time, or even in a month's time, compared to if we just continue in the same cycles, doing the same things that we are doing now. So that is a really important and powerful thing to know, is that doing things is that now is the only time that we really ever have full control over, and that really presents us with a really unique opportunity to do the things that we want to do right now, rather than just waiting. And by really waiting for that perfect time, we really are taking away the opportunities that we have right now to learn such amazing things, to discover some really awesome things about ourselves, and really the opportunity to live a life where a relationship with food does feel good and doesn't feel like this constant battle. So that is the first point I wanted to talk to you guys about. The second point that I want to talk to you guys about is that it's about the journey, not the destination. You've probably heard this before, and it is so true. Every little step that we take that is bringing us closer to having that relationship with food that we really do want, and healing our relationship with food, is an awesome step to be taking, because over time those steps will take us to where we want to be, and recognizing that this is all a journey. So as we are doing these things, we start to feel really good about what we're doing. We're working in alignment with where we want to be, so we feel a lot better within ourselves, because we know we are reaching towards where we want to be reaching, and that's really powerful as well. And by starting today, we know that we are actively beginning the process of getting to where we want to be, but also we are obviously taking the steps that we need to take and working in that alignment with where we want to be in our relationship with food. So we're actively participating and taking the steps that we want to be taking, and this is really powerful, and it kind of reinforces the idea that we are where we need to be, where we want to be, and focusing on what we can control right now, as opposed to thinking about what we can't control, or things that are going to happen in the future, and hoping for times to be easier, or hoping for things to be a certain way. Instead of doing that, we're really taking control right now and deciding that we are ready to take this journey, and we're going to start taking this journey right now, because every little step is going to help in the future. And just like I said in the previous one, the sooner we start, the sooner we're going to start seeing results and start reaching the place we want to reach in terms of our relationship with food. So that is point number 2 that I wanted to talk to you about. So the next point is releasing the weight of procrastination. So when we really hold off on things and we're waiting for those perfect conditions to be perfect, or to feel right, to be able to start working on our relationship with food, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves for things to be perfect, when in reality we don't need things to be perfect. We need to just start. We can just start right now. We do not need to be waiting for everything to be set in place to be able to do these things. And that really just takes a lot of pressure off ourselves when we just start taking a small step and we're like, okay, I'm just going to do this one thing today that is going to bring me to that little bit closer to where I want to be, rather than focusing on or thinking now is not the right time. And this really just helps with the mental and emotional side of obviously dealing with an unhealthy relationship with food. It really helps us unload that a little bit, because we know that we're doing the things that we need to be doing to work towards the relationship with food that we want. Even though a relationship with food will not instantly be the way we want it to be, we know we're taking the steps to get there, so we can really help at how we feel emotionally and mentally, because we know that we are putting in the work and we are getting rid of that idea that things need to be perfect for us to start doing those things, because things do not need to be perfect, and things are never going to feel really perfect. The right time can never come, because we really decide when it is the right time, and we can decide that it is the right time right now. And obviously, like I said in the previous ones, that's going to bring us a lot closer to where we want to be in our relationship with food, and a lot faster, and that gets rid of a lot of it's obviously going to help us in the way that our unhealthy relationship with food, the way that we're struggling with food, is going to start to lessen as we are working through these things. So that is another point I wanted to talk to you about. So by starting today, we are also building the momentum for tomorrow, and we are really setting the foundation through small steps to reaching the place we want to be. As I've said throughout this video, this is kind of all-encompassing that. So when we are doing little small steps over time, that builds up and they become huge things in the grand scheme, as we build up on top of those little steps that we take each day. And by doing this, we obviously are completely shifting our relationship with food. We are able to create the relationship with food that we really want, but without it feeling as though it's all or nothing, or that it needs to be really overwhelming. I think that's a really big misconception, is that to create changes or to have a healthy relationship with food, we need to do all of this stuff at once, and that's not true. The best, and for what I recommend for people, is to really just start small and start adding on to different habits each day that do align with where you want to be. Sorry, my voice is like gone a bit weird. I have a bit of a cold. But yeah, so you've got really every day you're kind of doing the little things that are adding up to such big changes in your life. And I have quite a few videos on some of the things you can start doing in terms of creating a healthier relationship with food, so I will link a few of them below so you can get a bit of an idea of the things that you could start doing and start adding on to it as you kind of create new habits. But yeah, just remembering that, like in the previous one, it is about the journey, and all these small habits, these small things that you start doing, steps that you start doing starting from today, make such a huge impact on the overall destination, and how quickly you get there as well. And also worth noting, like when you do reach that destination, so of having that healthy relationship with food, it doesn't really stop there. You kind of find new things that you really enjoy. You really do open up a huge space for yourself that you probably didn't realize was ever going to be there, because you really had let the unhealthy relationship with food stand in your way, and you didn't know there was more to it, or there was more to kind of unravel in your self-discovery journey, because that is really what it is. You are really learning a ton about yourself, and discovering a lot of things that are really powerful in everyday life, and the things that you feel like you're capable of, and where you can really reach in your life. So yeah, that's kind of a side note, but it's really an awesome thing to notice as well. So I really hope you found this video helpful in just seeing the power of now, and why you can start your healing journey, your healing your relationship with food journey right now, and how important it kind of is to let go of that idea of perfection and waiting for that right moment. Let me know if you have any comments below. And yeah, I really love to share this because myself, and I think a lot of people can really struggle with the idea of waiting for a right time or waiting for a certain day, but we kind of forget that all we do have control of is right now and the things that we're doing right now. And that's a really powerful realization to come to. I've also read a book that my friend actually let me borrow, which is called The Power of Now. If you haven't read it, I do recommend even just having a wee flick through it. I didn't read the whole thing, but I read a few of the chapters, and it was just really interesting and really helpful, and just appreciating the power that we do have right now and the ability to kind of start changing things that we do have right now rather than looking at the past or worrying about the future. Yeah, a really good book if you are interested in books and kind of reading about these sorts of things. But yeah, that is all I wanted to share with you today. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, and I post videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed. And yeah, I will see you guys next week.